guys, are you back for part 2? Okay, well, part 2. Okay, and then we all got back in the car. Again, my cousin Cuckoo and Gerard fell over again. And Cushy just... Okay, this was the worst thing. So, Cushy and me were going over the edge of the water. And there was like a bridge. And it was like 50 feet, right? Or 7 or 1,000 feet, right? Or something like that. It was like utterly high. Higher than the Tower of... No. Oh, what's it called? Big Ben. It's taller than that, right? It's taller than Mount Everest. The tallest buildings ever. It's taller than that. And, well, I was there, right? And with Cushy and me, we fell. Okay, so there was this cliff, right? And then underneath there was water. Nothing else. And then there was, in the middle of the water, there was this like hill, right? So we were looking over and we fell in the water. So we couldn't swim. So we just did backstroke all over. And then my mum was like, "Where's Cushy and Kim?" And then we shouted as hard as we could. And then my mum was like, and then they were like, "How are we gonna get them out?" So then we basically there was these rocks, right? So we tried and climbed the rocks, since I'm a rock climber, and we tried and climbed the rocks, and finally we got to the top, right? But then Cushy fell again. Then Cuckoo, my cousin, was gonna come, and then my auntie, right? She dragged Cuckoo away. I got up, but then Cushy was the only one, so I fell back in down. And I was like really cold. So I grabbed Cushy and I went out the same way that I did. So then I thought, oh my god, to climb this, to climb that. And we got, right? And then there was this other charmer. Oh my god. The other charmer is gonna frighten you. So it was like so windy right there, and trees blew away, houses blew away, right? And then we went over, the car blew away from us, and my cousin Stephanie, no, not Stephanie, no, so my cousin Bella, right? She was going over. And she was in the car, and then the car was just blowing, and then the car actually, it blew into a small river, right? But it was like, it was so high. It was still higher than Big Ben, and she fell into the car, right? And the car doors were locked because we thought she went out. We thought Bella went out, right? So actually, Bella was still in the car, right? And we had car dash cameras there, and we had to check. And then we all ran into the river, right? And we opened luckily a window was open, because like the car was drowning, the car was like drowning, and like Bella was screaming, and she took her last breath, right? Then she drowned. But then as soon as we got to the car, like she was like floating on like that, right? And then I don't know why I'm smiling, it's just that I love to tell you all like real stories, right? And we went with Bella, right? Most of us jumped in the water. Why did I say all? Most of us, because the other people were just come on, please, guys. The other ones were getting something to eat for us, right? And I grabbed Bella because I was the time. Well, I grabbed Cuckoo, and Cuckoo couldn't reach, right? Since I was small. Cuckoo was smaller, right? He didn't have long enough arms. So what I did, Cuckoo went there first, and I grabbed Stephanie's arm. And luckily, Cuckoo's arm reached the door window, so we lifted the window. And we grabbed her out, right? We didn't know where, so luckily, there was also stones, and we used them to drag people out. So, so we did the same thing, but my dad had to carry. Wait, no. My dad had to carry Cuckoo like everywhere because Cuckoo was so frightened. So I grabbed Bella's hand. Stephanie grabbed everyone's like everyone's hand. Bella was still outside. And then there was this lifeguard over there. And I'm so surprised he didn't even see us. Right? So we did what we did. And then we noticed that he was sleeping. He wasn't really a lifeguard, but he was like, you know, a kind of CPR person. So he was not waking up, right? So, screw him, right? So he was just sleeping there with some cozy, nice, long blankets. And guess what happened? Oh yeah, you wanna guess? Well, turns out that my nan was actually CPR qualified, right? Because she used to be a lifeguard. So she quickly, slowly did like Bella CPR, right? And then Bella spat out water, and guess what was in there? In her throat, there was a tiny little, you know, like hermit crabs. Yeah, there was a tiny little hermit crab, and it turns out that Stephanie ran into the car. We ran into the car, into a car because the car was drowning, right? So we had to call what was his name? The person where we rented the car. We told him what happened, and finally we got another car. One night later, we were gonna leave, right? We finally left. The cabin was shaking, everything was shaking. So he came over, he drove us this time, right? And you won't believe what he did. He crashed into another car, but we were fine, like we didn't even get a single thing because the other car was stopped. So our car, no. That car, well, his car, well, the car that we rented, guys. The car that we rented, was fine, so we just drove away quickly and called, and we just drove. He drove away, right? And when he drove away, this is what happened. He got to the airport, and I kept saying, "Can I get a hoo-ya?" And I didn't expect anyone to say hoo-ya because I didn't even know they were gonna say it. So this guy with his girlfriend, he said hoo-ya, and I was like. And Stephanie was like, "Can I get a hoo-ya?" And then he said nothing. But this other guy came, and Natalia, my other cousin, I didn't mention in the story, because she was in the cabin. She was the one who was getting food. Okay, sorry. She was getting food, right? And Natalia came over and to the airport, right? And then Stephanie was like, "Can I get a hoo-ya?" No one was saying it. And then Natalia said, "Can I get a hoo-ya?" I mean, can I get a hiya? And then there was this man, a fully grown man, who said, can I get a hiya? Hiya! And then I was surprised that he knew. And so yeah, and we got home, I guess, safely. My cousin had to leave back to California. And there is your story of Iceland. Like and subscribe if you want some more stories.